When a patient is scheduled for an initial visit, they can use the portal to fill out their intake form online, saving on paperwork and data entry. They don't need to be a brand new patient to fill out an intake form, but the visit must be scheduled as an initial visit type. To see whether a visit is an initial type or not, open the Edit Visit window and look at the drop-down list of visit types. Initial visits, return visits, and procedures are separated in the drop-down list by section headings. If you want to change the visit type, just pick a new one from the drop-down list. If you want to move a visit type from the return visits category to the initial visits category or vice versa, you can do that in your schedule settings. If you do that, it will affect all other visits of that type, so make sure the category you're putting it in is appropriate. When the patient is scheduled for an initial visit type, you can send them a link by email to make it easy for them to access the intake form. On the Schedule view and the patient's visit list, any initial visit will have a small button with the letter I next to the Encounter and Charting buttons. Click the I to open the Send Intake form. If you want to send to a different email address than the one that's displayed, type it into the email field. If you want to change the main email address in the patient's file to the address you just entered, click Check Update Email. When you're done, click Send Email. You'll see a confirmation window pop up briefly, letting you know that the link has been sent. The patient will receive an email thanking them for scheduling an appointment and asking them to follow the link to complete their intake. When they click on the link, they'll be taken to the portal login page. After they've logged in, below the welcome message, they'll see a button to begin the intake form. If the patient prefers, they can also log onto the portal independently, using the URL of the portal. If the patient prefers, they can also log on to the portal independently from your practice's website. You can see what this will look like for them by opening your portal from inside Office Pro. If the patient has used the portal before, for instance to schedule an appointment online, they can log in by entering the email address and password that they set up previously. If they haven't used the portal before, they'll need to sign up so that they can be matched to their patient record. A patient who's completing an intake form should always sign up as an existing patient rather than a new patient. The fact that they have a visit already scheduled means that they do already have a patient record in the system. If they try to sign up as a new patient, they'll be redirected to the existing patient sign-up when the system recognizes that their name is already taken. They'll need to enter their last name, date of birth, and email. If they enter a cell phone number, they'll receive a confirmation code by text. Otherwise, they'll receive it by email. After they enter the confirmation code in the next screen, they'll be taken to the portal homepage, where they'll see a button to begin the intake form. In the intake form, the patient can fill out their demographic and contact information, medical concerns, complete their review of system and family medical history, describe their diet and lifestyle habits, then review all their answers before submitting the intake. At the end of each page of questions, the patient can click Save and Continue to move on to the next page, or they can navigate between pages using the section links along the top of the window. The intake doesn't need to be completed in one sitting. The information that the patient has filled out on any page that has been saved will still be there if they come back to it later. In some sections, like Review of Systems, a yes answer will allow the patient to add notes or comments about their answer. These are optional. The form allows the patient to leave questions blank if they choose. Only the questions they've answered will be shown on the Review and Submit page. You can edit the questions that patients see in certain sections of the intake form from the ChartPro administration area. To get there, mouse over Tools in the top menu and select ChartPro. In the upper left-hand menu, you'll see buttons for ROS intake settings and family history settings. ROS intake settings allows you to add and remove systems and questions from the overall review of systems questionnaire. You can also edit a question's significance value, which represents how heavily it's weighted in summarizing systems of greatest concern. Family history settings allows you to add and delete medical conditions from the list that patients are asked to report on. The list of affected family members can't be edited, only the list of conditions. The other sections of the intake are preset and can't be edited, but they're designed to capture the information that you would typically ask for. Now that you know how to customize your intake questions, and to enable your patient to complete the intake before their visit, you can get the medical history that you need into a patient's chart without paperwork or data entry. For more information about initial and return visit types, see the configuration video on schedule settings. For more information about setting up your portal, see the PatientPro video on configuring your portal. For more information about ChartPro settings, see the video on ChartPro configuration.